How's it going, viewers? Mr. Incredi-Brony's back and he's rolling with the punches, baby. Welcome to a review video. I've been wanting to do this for, honestly, almost 2 years. Yes. Almost 2 years when I first started my channel. I've been wanting to talk about this for a really long time, but in all honesty, I think waiting almost 2 years later was actually a great idea, because now that we have new films in the library, as you can tell by the title, this is all about PIXAR, of course. I think it's actually perfect to talk about this right now, right here. Well, wait, I messed up. It's right here, right now. You know what I mean. But either way, viewers, we've got some relaxing music in the background to keep you all calm, of course. This video is going to be a very personal one. Now, as I said before, unfortunately, my PIXAR ranking movie tier list that I did almost like 10 months ago got taken down by YouTube, sadly. I guess because it was too long, apparently I wasn't ready for those kind of videos, sadly. But luckily, I can make videos longer than anytime I want now, which was like allowed like about 3 months ago. But oh well. Viewers, either way, I will do a PIXAR ranking tier list again at some point in the future, since I've done one on DreamWorks, Illumination, Blue Sky Studios, Sony Pictures Animation, all that jazz, you name it. But I want to wait until the new Pixar film Elemental comes out, and then I can talk about that film and then do every single Pixar film again, so I can give you my full definitive thoughts on each film individually. But the question I think you've all been wondering is, why is Pixar your all-time favorite animation studio? Well, you see, viewers, there is a solid reason, and you're probably thinking, I know what it's going to be. It's because, let me guess, Incredi-Brony, your favorite movie, The Incredibles? No. You love the animation more? No. You grew up watching it as a child? Surprisingly, no. Pixar was not something I grew up with. I grew up with Cartoon Network and the hit entertainment shows. That's what I grew up with. It wasn't until I was 8 years old, which was 2011, when I got to watch my first Pixar film. My mom remembered watching Toy Story back in 1995, and she thought it was really scary, and she thought this would be a bit too scary for her future kids to watch, so she didn't let me watch it until I was more, I guess, less sensitive. But, you know, that's really sweet of her. And it was worth it, because I have to admit that that there are moments in Pixar where I do find very nightmare feel that would actually traumatize me as a kid. But my point is, viewers, Pixar is my all-time favorite animation studio for simply one reason, and that is because it is the only animation studio where the first 10 movies in the library are absolute bangers and great movies in general. Yes. Now, I am going to give my opinion on all the first 10 Pixar movies, and if you want to hear me do all the Pixar movies, I will do a ranking tier list on all 26, but I want to wait, maybe you should wait until Elemental comes out, which is like a month away, so wait until that comes out, and then I can do all 27 Pixar movies, which will make more sense. And, it's crazy. I think Pixar is the only animation studio where I feel like barely 5 Pixar movies are bad. Honestly, I think only 2 or 3 are pretty bad that I kind of don't want to watch it again. But that's really good. 2 or 3, and there's 26, and soon to be 27. I'm actually excited for Elemental, and there are videos talking about why Pixar has lost their magic, but in all honesty, I disagree. Pixar will always be an amazing animation studio. I know Disney owns it, but I feel like Disney is evil and trying to make sure when they have a mediocre script, they're like, give it to Pixar, they'll take care of it. But they don't realize that Pixar, their magic is to make these simple stories work beautifully. I swear, viewers, without Pixar, we wouldn't have these great masterpieces. And as you know, The Incredibles is my favorite one of theirs, but let's not get into that yet, because that's their 6th Pixar movie. So the first 10 Pixar movies, in my opinion, are the best out of any animation studio's library. And I'm going to be explaining them all in this video. I don't know how long it will take, but let's get started. And I'm going to give you my opinions and my ratings, and also giving them special awards for the ones that get... And it's all from 1 to 10 out of 10. Are you ready? Let's go. Starting off from 1995, Toy Story. Now, what makes this movie very unique, in my opinion, is that it's actually the first fully 3D animated movie that was done by computer. And I think it's actually insane how much it actually holds up. It's still, you can definitely tell it's aged a little bit, but on all honesty, I still like the looks of Toy Story. It actually still looks really nice. The voice acting is absolute stellar. You have Tom Hanks as Woody, Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear, you name it. And for the first Pixar movie, it actually left a big impact, honestly. It meant a lot. It succeeded, which was great. And it created iconic characters, and everyone wanted more. And John Lasseter, we have to congratulate John Lasseter for that, really. And overall, I really do like it. The story is simple, of course, but it actually makes a lot of sense and it actually works. The comedy is amazing. I love the comedy in this film. A lot of the characters are very memorable. As you all know, Rex is definitely my favorite of the Toy Story franchise. And also Sid. I think Sid is actually a pretty decent first antagonist. Him torturing toys. It's just so cool. And the songs by Randy Newman are absolute classic. You just can't beat it. It's a classic for a reason. It hits right. I don't love it as much as most people, but in all honesty, I definitely see why people would consider this their favorite Pixar film. And in my opinion, Toy Story deserves a solid 9 out of 10. Look at that. Their first movie, and it's a 9 out of 10. That is actually very impressive. Very impressive, viewers. And then we have the second Pixar movie, which I thought was 1997, but it's actually 1998, which is A Bug's Life, another film owned by Pixar, which is the second one, and also directed by John Lasseter. Really cool, huh? This one follows the adventures of ants in a colony, and we have the main protagonist, Flick, who's actually different from the group, who actually has his own inventions to help. Of course, it doesn't go too well, and he ends up ruining all the food they gathered for all the grasshoppers, including the main antagonist of the movie, Hopper. Nice name, voiced brilliantly by Kevin Spacey. I love Hopper in the film. I think Hopper is a huge improvement over Sid Phillips. Like, I like Sid as an antagonist. I think he was handled pretty well, and I love how he was defeated in the end, getting really scared of all the toys coming to life, and then has to go to therapy, of course. And he appears in Toy Story 3 later, of course, as the Garbage Man, because he has the skull shirt. It's really, really cool, like attention to detail, you could call it. I love it. But let's talk about that. Kevin Spacey's Hopper is an amazing Pixar villain, definitely one of my favorites. Flick is a likable protagonist, and I think the side characters are a lot of fun too, especially the circus bugs. I love Heimlich, I love Francis, I love the Flea. I think the Flea is my favorite character, and I'm pretty sure he's John Lasseter's favorite character he provides the voice for. It's just so much fun. Also, fun fact, the voice actor for Molt, the brother of Hopper, is actually Richard Kind, who then goes on to voice Bing Bong in Inside Out. Pretty insane, huh? And yeah, overall, I really do like A Bug's Life. I don't love it, so for that reason, I would have to give Bug's Life overall a solid. I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. I really do. I do like this film. I think it holds up very well. I think it's definitely one of Pixar's underrated masterpieces that needs more attention, really. It really does hold up, and I love how it's the first Pixar film to actually have bloopers as well, which is really funny. So yeah, overall, A Bug's Life, 7 out of 10. Really, really good. And then we come to Toy Story 2, the third Pixar movie and the first sequel. And viewers, I kid you not, this is actually the first Pixar movie that gets a 10 out of 10. Yep. 10 out of 10. Holy crap. Wow. Viewers, the first Pixar movie to get a 10 out of 10 is not only the third one in the library, it's also released in 1999, and it's a sequel. A sequel got a 10 out of 10. Insane. This is, in my personal opinion, this is a bit of a, I wouldn't call this a hot take, this is just my opinion. This is not only the best Toy Story movie in my opinion, I also think it's the best sequel in the Pixar library, and in all honesty, it might be my favorite sequel in history. I don't care. There's actually a YouTube video titled Why Toy Story 2 is the Greatest Sequel Ever Made by Rocco Tar. I recommend that video. Please check it out. It's a really beautiful video. I love it. So shout out to you, Rocco Tar. I love your videos. But Toy Story 2 is my all-time favorite sequel and definitely a personal favorite Pixar film of mine. It is definitely top 5 worthy. I love it to death. It's the best Pixar sequel. I can't remember saying that. First of all, you know how people say that Finding Nemo is when the animations also look amazing? Personally, I disagree. I think Toy Story 2 is when animation looks great. There is not a single shot in Toy Story 2 where I'm like, yeah, that looks old. No, every single shot in Toy Story 2 looks amazing. Such a masterpiece, like a visual masterpiece. I just can't stop staring at the beauty, honestly. It really holds up. And also, the toys are put into more dangerous situations, which is really intense. Like the part where Buzz and the gang go in the traffic cones and try to cross the road. That's really scary. That gave me that shivered me as a kid, and even as an adult, I still get a little bit jump scary. And the part where there at the airport is really fun too. It's funny, it's crazy, it's intense. It's just so heartwarming. And also, this has the first like real tearjerker, of course, with when Jessie reveals a story about her owner Emily, and the song "When She Loved Me" plays. It's so beautiful. I love the scene so much. And this is also the first Pixar film to have a twist villain, which was the Prospector. I think it was a genius twist villain. I just love it so much. And then the interactions with Buzz and the other Buzz is really hilarious. Just everything about this film does is what a sequel should do. Expanding on the world, bringing new characters, and just doing a really good job. And I also love of Ours. Or Ours are really, I wouldn't call him a villain. He's just a really funny side antagonist thing who takes Woody because, you know, he's a collector's eye, which makes sense. I like that a lot more than a kid that tortures toys. A collector that likes to collect valuable objects would steal Woody. It makes sense. I actually love that concept. And guess what? Captain Hampton uses Ow in some of his videos of Hampton the Pirate. So, look at that. So yeah, Ow was an icon, and the film overall was amazing. Also, they make the Star Wars joke with, you know, Zurg and Buzz. It's just amazing. And again, directed by John Lasseter. So yeah, brilliant. This is why, and every single Pixar film that has a 10 out of 10, I'm calling it a magnum opus. Yes, I'm calling it a magnum opus. And in this case, Toy Story 2 is Pixar's sequel magnum opus. Because it's the only Pixar sequel that has a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I'm serious. Love it to death. So amazing. Anyway, let's get on to the next Pixar movie. The fourth Pixar movie from 2001 is Monsters, Inc. I'm not gonna lie, I originally gave this film a 9 out of 10 when I first watched it, but now that I've rewatched it recently, and again, I'm not gonna lie, viewers, it's a 10 out of 10. Yep, Monsters, Inc. is we already talked about Toy Story 2, which was a 10 out of 10. Guess what? Monsters, Inc. is also a 10 out of 10. And look, I love it so much that I got this adorable little alien dressed up as Sully. You know, I also have one of him dressed up as Mr. Incredible. Look at this. I'm gonna make that the thumbnail. I love these so much. Just look at that. It's just the cutest. It is the cutest toys I've ever owned. I love it so much. So yeah, I love Monsters Inc. for so many reasons. First of all, it's one of Pixar's cleverest movies ever. I really do love of the concept of how, you know, how the monsters need children's screams to provide energy, and I love how they use dolls to travel to the human world. They have their own separate world, which is really, again, genius. And the comedy in this film is amazing. I would say it's honestly one of their funnier movies, and Mike Wazowski and James P. Sullivan, voiced by Billy Crystal and John Goodman, I think is the best duo in the entire franchise. Honestly, I think out of all the Pixar movies, I think Mike and Sully are my favorite duo. Yep, I think Woody and Buzz are great. Mr. Incredible and Frozen are iconic, but the thing is, I find Mike and Sully's relationship just more believable and more relatable, and just overall more cute overall. I just love it. All the side characters are iconic. Randall is great. Fergus is pretty funny. Celia is cute. I also love Roz. Roz is just hilarious, and she's voiced by Bob Peterson, which is just so funny. And the film also, another reason I give this film a 10 out of 10 is because guess what? It's directed by Pete Docter. It's the first Pixar film not directed by John Lasseter, and the fact that it's that incredible deserves 10 out of 10, honestly. So yeah, we've had so far a 9 out of 10, a 7 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, and now another 10 out of 10. Viewers, isn't that just insane? So yeah, Monsters Inc. Like I said, really funny, and the twist villain of Henry J. Wharton Hughes the third being the villain, who is the CEO of Monsters Incorporated. I thought that was a great twist. I think it's the best twist villain of the Pixar franchise. So yeah, I love it so much to death. And Boo is the cutest kid in animation history. She is the cutest kid ever. She deserves the world. Monsters Inc. is such a classic, you just can't beat it. It is iconic, the soundtrack is great as well. I just can't stop. I can't praise this film enough. Monsters Inc. is a definitely personal favorite film of mine. I love it to death. And for that reason, so Toy Story 2 is Pixar's sequel magnum opus. I'm going to say Monsters Inc. is Pixar's most clever magnum opus. I'm giving it the award of most clever magnum opus. I think it's the most ingenious concept. So for that reason, I think it has the best concept overall. Now we move on to Finding Nemo, the 5th Pixar film released in 2003, the year I was born. And wow, such a beautiful film. The water visuals stand out really well, and they actually hold up to this day. Marlin is such a well-written character, even as the overprotective parent trope, and Nemo is a really innocent character that you just can't help but root for. Dory is iconic, and she's voiced by Ellen DeGeneres, which is great. This film was also directed by Andrew Stanton, who is another new Pixar director who's actually helped with the previous Pixar films I mentioned as the executive producer, and Pete Docter also was an executive producer, which is really cool. I honestly just can't praise this film enough. This is also one of the Pixar's craziest openings to a film ever. The first 5 to 10 minutes is really crazy. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you need to watch it. It will boil your bones. And the film has some really amazing side characters too. The sharks, Bruce, is really cool. I love Crush the turtle. Oh sweet, totally. Grab shell, dude. If you asked Crush who's your favorite My Little Pony character, he's gonna say, whoa, Tree Hugger, totally, dude. Righteous. Yeah, I love Tree Hugger. I'm just saying. I like hippies. Hippies are cool. My cousin's girlfriend's big brother was a hippie, and he was really cool. Yeah, Finding Nemo. Yeah, it's great. This helped me connect with my dad a lot as well, because it showed me how much he really cares for me and wants me to stay safe from the world, and I love him for that, for keeping me safe. So yeah, Finding Nemo. Honestly, I do find this film more relatable and interesting than Toy Story, so I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. It's a near perfect movie, but I don't think it deserves... I wouldn't consider it a 10, honestly. I don't really know why, but in all honesty, 9.5 out of 10. That's the best I can give it. So yeah, beautiful. Love it. Fish are friends, not food. Mine. And now we move on to the 6th Pixar film, and what is that? The Incredibles. Okay, what else can I say? 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It is, in my opinion, Pixar's darkest magnum opus. You'd expect me to say the best magnum opus. No. There's no such thing as best magnum opus. When a film has a 10 out of 10, that means it's the best of the best. So, I'm calling in Pixar's The Incredibles Pixar's darkest magnum opus. I think it's honestly the most adult Pixar film ever. It's got some crazy deaths in it. The villain syndrome is really well written. The main character, Bob himself, goes through a midlife crisis. And also, this is the first Pixar to have humans as the main focus, and it works to a T. And this film does everything that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is struggling to do. I swear, this film does everything right that the MCU is screwing up with. How the government works with superheroes, comedy and the action moments, making serious, dramatic and funny moments work. It never works for the MCU, but in The Incredibles, it always works. And the film gets better the more times you watch it, really. Best soundtrack, best villain, and such beautiful characters, very memorable side characters. You can't go wrong with Edna Mode. I love this film to death. 10 out of 10, Pixar's darkest magnum opus. Brad Bird, I congratulate you. Love you so much. Now we move on to the 7th Pixar film, Cars, from 2006. I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, but I personally really liked this film. I honestly I would give this film a solid 8 out of 10. I really like Cars. It's honestly, it needs more love, really. I think it explains really well the whole rookie scenario with Lightning McQueen, being kind of a cocky, show-off dude who's, Mr. One-Man Show. And, I love how he learns to be better in Radiator Springs when he befriends Mater and hangs out with Sally, and then we learn about Doc Hudson. Doc Hudson really carried the movie for me personally. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have loved this film as much as I do right now, really. And for that, and also rest in peace to Paul Newman. We're gonna miss him so much. He had such an amazing voice. And this is John Lasseter's also. This is also John Lasseter. I think John Lasseter directed this film. Yeah, he did. And overall, it's really great. Honestly, the soundtrack is great. The life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. So iconic. Overall, Cars is really fun, and overall, as someone who likes anthropomorphic vehicles coming to life, like in Thomas the Tank Engine, then there you go. Chuggington, you name it. Cars works for me personally. I don't question it. I just don't question it. I never question stuff. But either way, 8 out of 10. One of Pixar's most underrated films, and it's great. It's great. And of course, it's Talent 2009's favorite Pixar franchise. Now let's do the 8th Pixar movie. Yeah? Yes, yeah, 8th Pixar movie, and that, of course, is Ratatouille. Another film directed by Brad Bird. Look at that. I love this film. Not as much as most people, because I think the ending is perfection, but I would say the first 2 acts aren't as exciting as the 3rd act. Whereas a lot of the other Pixar films I mentioned are exciting from beginning to end. But for Ratatouille, the first 2 acts are okay, are pretty good. Have some slow moments, but overall, I love the final act. So for that reason, I give the film a 9 out of 10. Visuals are really, really cute. The food looks so tasty. Remy is a well-written character. He's voiced by Patton Oswalt, which is really cool. Linguini is funny. Colette is, well, beautiful. So yeah, overall, Ratatouille is just something you can't stop rewatching. And Gordon Ramsay, I bet you he loves this film. Okay, now let's talk about the 9th Pixar movie, 2008's WALL-E. Honestly, if The Incredibles didn't exist, this would be my favorite Pixar movie. No joke. WALL-E is an absolutely adorable masterpiece. It is, in my opinion, a 10 out of 10. WALL-E is Pixar's visual masterpiece. I think WALL-E has the best visuals out of every Pixar movie. It has the best visuals ever. Before we had Dune, WALL-E perfected visuals in cinema. This is why we need Pixar films to come back to cinema right now. WALL-E is an adorable trash collecting robot. Eve is a great love interest. The captain of the Axiom is really well written. Otto is a really good twist villain as well. I thought he was really well written as well. All the robots have really unique designs that make them stand out, and it feels like watching a My Little Pony episode where it's a bunch of background characters and trying to figure out, oh, I know that one, I know that one, I know that one. And then we have my favorite character, which is Ma. I love Ma. And yes, whilst I can understand that people say that the first 30 minutes is the best part of the movie, it doesn't mean it's the only good thing. The whole movie is really great. I just love it, really. It's got a great message to it, and comedy is really good. WALL-E is just so cute. And it's definitely one of Pixar's more mature films as well, and really insane. But overall, 10 out of 10. Solid 10 out of 10. Pixar's, like I said, visual masterpiece. The best visuals in the entire industry of Pixar. And we only have one more Pixar film to talk about. And guess what, viewers? The 10th Pixar film is Up from 2009. And guess what? It's a 10 out of 10. What can I say, viewers? We started with a 9. Toy Story was a 9. A Bug's Life was a 7. And Toy Story 2, a 10 out of 10. Monsters Inc., a 10 out of 10. And Finding Nemo, a 9.5 out of 10. The Incredibles, 10 out of 10. Cars, 8 out of 10. And Ratatouille, 9 out of 10. WALL-E, 10 out of 10. And now Up, 10 out of 10. Wow. Insane. And also, WALL-E is directed by Andrew Stanton, who also did Finding Nemo, which is great. And now we have Up, and that's directed by Pete Docter, who also did Monsters Inc., which is again a 10 out of 10. Bruh, that is insane. Yeah, Up is just, once again, really, really beautiful. It has, in my opinion, the greatest opening to any movie ever. The first 15 minutes are my all-time favorite moment in cinema history. Nothing is going to be as adorable as that. And now that I've heard that Pixar is going to release a short of Up called Carl's First Date, which will play before Elemental, I'm super excited for that. We're going to say goodbye to Ed Asner, Carl Fredricksen, Doug, Russell, everyone. Oh, the film really plays with your emotions. It is a legit roller coaster of emotions. You cry, you laugh, you smile, you get shocked, you get a little bit mad sometimes. Oh my gosh. Just thinking about it really makes me want to tear up. I'm a tough cookie, but I do sometimes show emotion. Yeah, I love Up. I really do. The concept is really cute as well, and I think Carl was a really well-written character. He's funny, he's quirky, he's crazy, but I love him, honestly. And going to Paradise Falls is such a journey. Adventure is out there, and the Spirit Adventure book is a really, really lovely moment. Russell was a really fun character. I love Doug. Charles Muntz is cool. Even though I kind of almost expect him to become the villain, I don't care. He's still really well written, and overall, Up is just it's a beautiful film, and you need to watch it. It's 10 out of 10. So, what would I call Up? I would say it's Pixar's adorable magnum opus. I think it's the cutest Pixar film ever. Out of all the Pixar films, it is the one I would consider the cutest. I love it. Now, unfortunately, viewers, that is the 10th Pixar film and the last one I'm talking about here. So there you go. That is why Pixar is my all-time favorite animation studio, because the first 10 movies are absolute classics, bangers, and great. There is not a single Pixar film in the first 10 categories where I think is kind of okay or bad. They're all great films, and I really, really enjoy watching them every now and then. So yeah, viewers, I love you all, and please comment down below. What is your favorite animation studio? Do you think Pixar is the best? Also, what is your favorite Pixar film? And should I do a ranking to this of all the Pixar movies, including Elemental when it comes out? But anyway, viewers, love you all. I shall see you all on another day of recording. If you're interested in particular one, leave a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're interested, follow me on Instagram, link down below. And until then, stay positive, keep calm, stay safe, be incredible. And as always, Brony on. Peace.